A hat, a head wrap, a misshapen wig. You can tell a lot about someone by what they wear on their head. Or can you?
For me, when I tie my turban every day, I recite a prayer at the same time, which is kind of like asking for protection from negativity, from enemies, from wrongdoers, oppressors. It's definitely a prayer for preparedness.
There's this idea written by Emily Stile discussing the importance of diversity in education. The idea is this: windows and mirrors. In this series, I'm going to explore that. I'm going to hopefully provide a window into a new culture that maybe you don't know that much about, while also providing a mirror into my own identity. To do that, I left Texas and I went to London. I enlisted the help of friend and fellow YouTube creator Belief in Fatherhood.
You cool me bending that, right?
Yeah. So am I talking to the camera or to you?
I guess the camera. I'll try to be like here. Is that easier? Or you can talk to me.
I like talking to you.
Okay.
Because you're a real person.
Yeah, that makes sense. I knew that in order to have a true, candid conversation, to build this window, I needed to ease the potential for any tension and acknowledge my own ignorance. I'm gonna go ahead and just say this out loud. I do not know a lot about Sikhism, like at all. People always come at religious tolerance from like the white perspective of like white people need to be more tolerant of other religions.
Right.
But I also know within the Black community, at least in America, like I'm sure they're aware of Sikhism, but they don't really know what it's about. You know what I mean? So do you mind being the unofficial spokesperson for all Sikh people?
Oh yeah, it's the role I've been cast for my whole life. I've been waiting for this role.
Why do you personally cover your hair?
I feel like I somehow need to sacrifice, like God has given me a lot of things, a lot of blessings. Like I'm healthy, I'm surrounded by a lot of awesome people. I got so many good opportunities and families and everything. And then there's one thing that God told me, there are other things, but this one thing that God told me you have to cover, I can't find any reason not to. It made me realize that the worldly stuff is not as important. I have to understand what to prioritize.
We are not alone in this world of ours. A suitable sight to behold, I call it home. Where dreams are seeds planted, nourished by love and understanding. So a beautiful reality's grown.
The first thing I'll kind of begin with is even just the name. People will refer to it as Sikhism. Definitely a westernized kind of labeling of. So that's not even a word in our language. For us, we refer to our faith as Sikhi. There's three principles that ground Sikhi. One is to recognize and always remember and reflect on the presence of there being a one God. What that essentially means is that, it is present within everything and everyone, that there's no single name for it, that God is unfathomable to the human mind. We exist within it while being a part of it. The second principle, work hard, earn an honest living. And the other is to give back and serve the community. So it's about being practical and purposeful with your life.
I moved to Germany in 2010. I took it off. I took off my hijab. Apparently my intention was not so straight, I was born and raised as a Muslim, but there was a time where I really dig in my religion and really learn everything from zero.
Yeah.
Because my boyfriend was a Christian, and he was asking me a lot of questions about Islam, and I could not answer at all. Yeah, and then I learned it together with my boyfriend. He ended up converted, and I ended up putting it back on. That was like the point where I finally understood my purpose as a human being, my purpose as a Muslim. I finally understood that hijab is an obligation, because before I thought hijab for a Muslim woman was an option. But actually it's said in the scripture and everything that it is an obligation, but at the end of the day, it is your option whether you want to follow that obligation or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the hijab you brought.
I just want to tell people out there that you can wear your hijab however you want, and the hijab it doesn't have to be only like one color. You can make it really colorful. And this is actually one of my favorite hijabs because it's so colorful, and it makes me happy to see it. Yeah.
What's so there's like, okay, so there's so many different ways to wear hijab,
Yeah.
right? Why do you pick the style that you pick specifically?
So as for me, why I chose this first, because I'm from Indonesia, so I'm so used to seeing this style. And second, because it's simple. I can rap and everything, but no, I don't bother rapping. It takes too long. Yeah. It's cultural.
Is there a practical purpose to your head wrap or to your turban?
Yeah, most definitely. During the time Sikh was coming about, it was like turban was reserved for royalty. Sikh has been against the caste system and caste division. So the idea of gifting the community with, hey, you can rock a turban, it's like, this is your crown, you are royalty. When I tie my turban and I keep my beard the way that I do, I wear my karas around my wrist. It's one, affirming to myself that I adhere to a discipline and a set of values and principles. My uniform enables other people to call me out if they know, to check me if I'm not adhering to those values, but also if they need help, like emergency situation. It's like, boom, that's a Sikh is bound to help you. My whole teenage years, I definitely felt the minority thing, and I definitely felt like detached, displacement, and I couldn't articulate it at the time.
Yeah, you
but
don't have the vocabulary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why hip hop resonated with me. I was, for the first time in my life, hearing those themes in music, but I could appreciate the values and the sentiments and the themes because it spoke to me more than any other style of music that I'd ever listened to prior to that.
You could do it for love. I could do it for peace. You could do it for this. Or we do it for beats. We could do it for money. We could do it for Sikh. We could do it for this. Or do it for Hallease. We could do it for change. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I did it for hip, I would do it for hop. You know, the spot, the rock. You know, the team. Almost like a Slum Village type style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's cool.
So very Dilla.
There's a hook right there.
You know what I mean?
There's a hook right there, man.
Let's run it.
From Southwest Sydney, represent that city of Liverpool. The turban I'm wearing right now is probably like the second turban I ever owned, and it was originally not this color. And I'm kind of sad that it's not the original color anymore, but it just faded too much. But in terms of like, it was a much lighter blue, and I got pictures, like press shots and all that sort of stuff, so like I reflect on that color, every now and then. Turbans feel different, like each one feels different when you tie it on, in terms of like the weight of the fabric, how soft it feels. When you've worn one for over a period of time, it's almost like you've worn it in. My style's original, I don't want imitators. You know what I mean?
I cannot think of the favorite moment where I wear this hijab and that hijab, but in general, the most favorite moments is always to be when I was on the street in Germany or in Berlin, and then someone saying salam to me, like assalamualaikum. Because, as a minority, you feel very alone and everything. You know that there are a lot of Muslims in Germany, but still you're the minority. And then suddenly there's someone acknowledging that you are a Muslim, so I'm really happy to see the Muslim.
At this point, Belief and I both had a similar thought, as the window into Gita's life became a mirror for us. How could we make sure that Gita still felt appreciated when she saw us, people who weren't Muslim, but definitely understood the feeling of being a minority?
I mean, just the fact that you guys are very nice to me, I feel so appreciated. Even if you don't necessarily agree with the whole submission and everything, I mean, it's totally okay. I mean, you can think whatever you like, but the fact that you understand and you let me to be who I am, like this is my decision to wear hijab and everything, and you're okay with it, that's enough. It's more than enough.
What do you want people that aren't in the faith to feel or know when they see you? That's part of your faith, maybe, and separate from it, like just you as an individual.
Yeah, that's deep. There's a saying within Sikh, it's kind of like, it's so difficult to walk this path, it's kind of like walking on the edge of a blade. I think I'm at a point in my life where, just on a personal level, I don't have any expectations from other people outside the community. Like, I don't want anything from people outside the community, in a sense of like, I wish you would treat us better, or I wish you weren't so ignorant. I don't have that expectation anymore because like I suppose there's part of me that feels a sense of futility. There's also a part of me that's like, I can't control anything outside of myself. Let me focus on that.
So what can you do now that I've shown you a different way of living through personal stories? What can you do now to incorporate that into your life? I think the most actionable thing you can do is seek out the windows. If you live in a homogenous area and it's difficult for you to physically do that, that's fine. You're watching me on this amazing platform called YouTube, where 72 years of content is uploaded to it every day. Seek out the windows of different lifestyles on this platform. Use that search bar to your advantage and let the algorithm begin to work in your favor. Thank you, YouTube and the Creators for Change program, for giving me this opportunity. It's been a real blessing. I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. What you do it for?
Yeah, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. What you do it for? It's believe,
And it's the lion.
1, 2, 1, 2. What you do it for? 1, 2, 1, 2. What you do it for? 1, 2, 1, 2. What you do it for? Yeah, I do it for above. I do it for everything around me that is love. I do it for world travelers and the unseen people of the unsung songs.